You were in charge of it. You were the official in charge. Did you wipe the server?
What, like with a cloth or something? We have turned over the server. They can do whatever they want to with the server to figure out what's there or what's not there. But we turned over everything that was work-related, every single thing. Personal stuff, we did not. I had no obligation to do so and did not. Thank you all.
Hillary Clinton right there taking those questions on her emails this week, showing a bit of frustration, but then moving on. I want to talk about that on our roundtable, joined by Democrat Bill Richardson, former governor of New Mexico, cabinet secretary, UN ambassador for President Clinton as well. Republican strategist Ana Navarro, very close to Jeb Bush. Rich Lowry, editor of the National Review, editor of Time Magazine, Nancy Gibbs. And Matt Bai, the national political columnist for Yahoo News. And let's begin with Hillary Clinton and the emails. Rich Lowry, let me go to you. The cover of The Week magazine says, is this going to sink Hillary's campaign this week? The Hillary team says that is overblown. What do you think?
Well, the problem she has, no one, George, believes her. The reason why she set up this private system was clearly to maintain complete control over her official records, and now she's a hostage to fortune, depending on what the FBI concludes about the lawfulness of this arrangement, and depending on what of her personal emails are recovered, so-called personal, because it's really hard to believe that she sent tens of thousands of emails as Secretary of State all about her yoga routines and wedding cakes and all the rest of it.
Although it's also hard to believe that they would make such a declarative statement if they thought there was anything there that had been marked classified. But I have talked to some Clinton supporters, Nancy Gibbs, who do think that at least she's got to come out and sort of say what she has said before, which is that, yeah, it was probably a mistake to set this personal system up.
I think the problem is the declarative statements haven't been that declarative. It was, nothing was classified, and then it was nothing was more classified at the time. Every time the statements change, I think it reinforces the notion that the whole story isn't out. And, apologizing isn't necessarily the strongest suit for her, and so I don't know that you're going to go that far to say I made a mistake, but you do increasingly hear people in her party saying without some acknowledgement that this looks really bad and feels really bad in a visceral way to voters. On the trust factor, it's going to be very hard for it to be behind.
And Matt Bai, there are some questions about this Quinnipiac poll, but it's got to be an alarm bell for Democrats there.
Oh yeah, it is an alarm bell. I mean, look, we always heard in politics, George, right? It's not the crime, it's the cover-up. I think here it's not the cover-up, it's the attitude. And this is what's driving this trust deficit is, the idea that whether people care really about the emails or the servers, whether they understand the details, there's this attitude that says, I don't have to answer these questions. I shouldn't have to answer these questions. She walked away from the media, last week.
But she did answer, to be fair, she did answer the questions first.
But very testily and incompletely, and as you say, with a very tepid apology. I think that's the issue that goes forward even more than whatever happens with the email servers. What Democrats have to be worried about when they look at those numbers on the trust deficit is that the signal is one of entitlement, that the signal is one that says, I'm taking this nomination, I'm the only one out there, and I'm not going to have to answer some of these questions that people want answered. I think that would worry me if I were running her campaign.
And Bill Richardson, Joe Biden, obviously watching this pretty closely, has this meeting with Elizabeth Warren yesterday, clearly reaching out in all the early states as well. You think he gets in?
I don't think he gets in. I think the personal situation he's going through and the fact that Hillary Clinton is way ahead. I mean, I know that she's having these problems now, but with fundraising, with her, she's got a superb organization. And by the way, she will be very strong after Iowa and New Hampshire in Super Tuesday in minority states with a broad coalition of women and progressives and minorities. I don't think he gets in, but if he gets in, he will be a formidable challenger.
And I should